So I'm gonna burn some more valuable video time with the stars and their mirror, mirror on the wall. I'm excessively bored, and you know people are excessively bored. They do what excessively bored people do, and if you were me, and you were excessively bored, well, you'd be doing stuff like this. And well, I gotta learn somebody. Here's the thing. I just explain it from my own video diary that I'll never get. Doesn't matter anyway, but why not? Because I'm excessively bored. I should have never sat down with those two very nice people because she was so funny at the window. Rick's so very freaking funny. And I should have never sat down there and thought about reading lines with people. I should have never, ever. So, sat down and practiced reading lines in front of a recorder. I probably should have never done that, but seeing so I've done that, it's too late now. So stars on the wall while I burn a little more time, because look at that, I burnt like 1 minute, 25 seconds. Incredibly boring time. It's just incredibly boring time. That was like 1:30 at 1:31. That's a good number. The time was so incredibly boring between there and there. Why not do this anyway? That's what I keep saying to the nothingness that surrounds me. The complete empty nothingness that surrounds me. What else are you going to do anyway, right, people? Isn't technology wonderful? I don't know, is that recording? We'll find out. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Is this on? Fortunately now, I'm sure if you were super secret, you couldn't watch me at all. That was my point. You know what, super secret? For me, this is like, maybe you could tap into my camera. Maybe you could watch what I was watching on my camera right now because I turned it on to record mode, and there's that red light on Super Secret. The red light just glaring at you on Super Secret, just laughing at you like, I'm watching you. I'm a flashing red light, and you know the little red light thing. So I'm only getting watched, what, half the time? Super Secret, like every other beat, then you don't have to watch me because, you know, you got to save tape space. You know, you got budget concerns, Super Secret to worry about, of course. Budget concerns, Prez. Bottom line, so here's to the stars and their mirror, mirror on the wall. Which of the most stars is the beautiful of all? I could tell you. I'll just tell you the answer, okay? Because I'm tired of people guessing a lot, really. It's just ridiculous. Your people's guessing of total, complete wrongness based on no sense or understanding of reality, facts of history, any or sense of basically. It looks just like common sense, understanding what the fuck you're doing versus what any cargo cult would do, and the problems that always causes throughout time, especially when you're trying to grow a civilization into something other than nothing before we fail. And I got to ask you more questions than that. So here's to you, mirror, mirror on the wall. I had to finish a couple of conclusions because it's late and I got to get up and then I didn't want to say it. So I won't even say that. Like where? So I had a couple more conclusions to French people. Just to get it off my chest. French people. Well, I wasted an incredible... See, look, I wasted 3 more minutes in incredibly boring space. And I got to record that. So for posterity now, I can look back on my life and go, you know what? It truly was pathetic at that moment. Look how pathetic that is. But the stars are awesome and beautiful. Not necessarily the stars pathetic right there, because that's kind of awesome. But the rest of it, maybe. I don't know, maybe it's a little bit of the surroundings over there. I don't know what that looks like. But maybe that's what pathetic is. But so, for posterity's sake, I don't know, maybe it'll record the voice. I couldn't really tell you. Does it record the voice on these things? For posterity's sake, I will turn this on one more time and just get it off. Because, you know, at some point, life is so incredibly boring. So you might as well fill up the time, people. It's void. You're supposed to fill up void, people. You is. And so while I fill void in my own way, in my own little space of void with nothingness that surrounds me, Yeah, I have to talk to French people a little bit more. I'm sorry, French people. It's coming again, French people. I'm so sorry, French people. It's coming again. Just give me a moment, French people. It's your superior nature, French people. And that's okay, of course, because we should be more like that, of course. We should be way more like that, more cultural, more artistic, more caring, more this like, wow, that's loving and passionate French people. It's like all of that kind of, you know what? And now with 21st century technology, we could work it all out. So you're just all rich French people. Yeah, all rich French peoples. And I got no problems upstairs, downstairs. So. I got the catacombs covered, French peoples. To that level of peace and security. Wherever French peoples live. Where do French peoples live? I don't know, it doesn't matter. It's not important to this at this juncture where French peoples live. At this juncture. So at that point, here's to you, Mir. Which of the stars on the wall is the most beautiful of all, Mir? I'll just kind of tell you, back to the answer. Together as a family grouping like that, there ain't no greater beauty in the universe, is there, than a family grouping of stars in a picture like that. Isn't that what it is, people? What is it, people? What is it? A family of stars grouped together with a greater purpose, obviously, that is theirs to do one day. They'll get to it. Till then, they're a family of united. They can come and they can go, they get back there. But then again, what a place for a complete family of stars. I wonder if they like it like that. Instead of all separated, just thrown across the sky like stars. Just thrown haphazardly, forming silly, idiotic baby toy rattles for, guess who, but you never will. Haphazardly thrown, making nice baby toys, rattle looking things. Because, baby was, how baby was. That baby, and he was. Yes, how he was, because, that was the best part of that baby. Just yes and how he was somehow. Maybe he wasn't sure why. He was just said, you know what? Hey, baby, let's go. So, you know what? I think the win is all the stars grouped together like a family instead of throwing haphazardly at like baby rattles across the sky. They're just in touch with each other, still making an awesome, spectacular, stellar design at that level because, when you're at the level of stars up there, spectacular design is still obviously great. Maybe, for posterity's sake, I would just say on the record, maybe it could be time to change the baby rattle design. Maybe they'll graduate. Maybe they'll graduate from the Electoral College as we the people and all vote. Maybe the baby rattle design in the heavens above could be changed for a more suitable look for. I don't know, take a vote on it. Family versus baby rattles that need to be played with, because if not, they don't understand what they're doing. Because they're a problem. Maybe they would unite as some sort of family going that way with any sort of understanding of what to achieve as life itself on planet Earth, instead of everybody having to look like a retard. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say anything, because I was going to really just talk to French people later. I had some things to work out. I had some things to work out of my soul, French people. I'm sorry. I was excessively bored, and I got little time before I got to go to sleep and get up because I got to do all that stuff. It is, French people. I got to do all that stuff and get up, set the alarms. Okay. I don't like setting the alarm, French people. I don't like this, but I did it anyway because it's important to me. Very nice people. Okay, they're nice people, French people. So you set the alarm and you get up and you go do what you got to do to hopefully help nice people, French. Assist nice people, French. That's what out-of-phase Tai Chi is all about, French people. on the record. I was going to explain a few more specifics about out-of-phase Tai Chi. I better do that now before I am done. Which is, out-of-phase Tai Chi has no claimed relationship to actual Tai Chi. There's actual Tai Chi, MIME people. And then there's out-of-phase Tai Chi, which is completely different, MIME people, than Tai Chi. Out of respect for my parent tradition of Tai Chi, says slightly out of phase Tai Chi, I have to disclaim myself from them because I just would never understand. And I wouldn't want to down them or denigrate them in any sort of way by having them linked to my cultural tradition of something that is beyond them in many ways. And I wouldn't want to hurt them, my parent tradition. And that statement is so very ironic. And we'll see one day. Whether or not stars on the wall, they ever understood any of it. All at that moment in linear time in their brains, right in there, where I am for real. How about all of you? Where do you live for real in your brain? I live right about there. Sure, everything could be lots of fun and games from there. And it's supposed to be. Life isn't supposed to be boring and stupid and droll, is it, people? You're not supposed to be stars stuck on the... At least they got a mirror than stuck on the wall. I'd upgrade the stars at least. Life isn't supposed to be just there you are, stuck on your mirror, then stuck on the wall. Then I'll move them later. At least I'll do that. Life is supposed to be something else than that, people. And I was hoping you people could understand where life is, all of you at some point. Kind of right in there, though, isn't it, people? Is it right in there where life is, people? It's supposed to be, though, isn't it? And so I wanted to vote on some zero-line, baseline truths of sanity for real. Where's our life supposed to be as a community interaction really between us for real, other than playtime, and some of it's not playtime, and then you're going to have... We're not going to talk about that because that's just very, very real. So at some point, for the most part, real interaction, somewhere like this, some people. I don't need to push on you. I don't need to do nothing. I just kind of need to clearly explain things to you, huh? Right about at this level, huh? Just like everybody, huh? Isn't that the level we've all agreed of interaction in society and or between people anywhere is right about here, huh? Attitude, intent, level of energy input. How many of you people would agree? We kind of like it right in here, talking to each other like that, for real. Sure, this playtime, acting time, and God's time will be something different, to be honest. Whoever that is. God's time? What's God's time, people? Your time alive in the universe. God's time. Your time alive in the universe, and ultimately what happens to us all. Go ahead, run that through legal. Yeah, go ahead. So, French people, I got a couple things to say and get it out before I go to bed. And I'm going to aim that stars on the wall. And if I could turn that around and it still records, I would not do that. It's like going to be hideous. You have to see me. Or any of surrounding environment of me, it's completely hideous. Completely. So here goes to the hideous part of the world. And you could see me in there somewhere. Hey? It's hideous. I'm going to lean you right on that handle right there. You know, handling maybe. Yeah, it's okay. You don't need to see me. Maybe to listen. Am I still recording? Good. Y'all looking. It's good one. The last one just popped off all the time. Just set it down, one little movement. Pff, stop recording. Huh? What kind of technology is that for the 21st century, the people on the way? Huh? You know what? I'm going to say something on the record people never get to listen to anyway. Don't you people understand yet where the human soul is supposed to go? Where you're programmed to go? Feel it. Happens all around you. It's just more than... I wonder if you people could even feel it, because it's going on all around you people. In many ways, it's shown to you people. I was hoping you people had at least a little observancy, and so here is the super secret. Super secret. There is no way right now. I just turned my little video thing on. So either that countermand some super secret bullshit game, no doubt, or now you couldn't listen to me, or you couldn't hear me, or something. I'm sure it'd be verboten that you could ever listen to me. So, here's the super secret. The cone of silence here that surrounds me. You couldn't watch me, you couldn't see me. No freaking way. There's no camera anywhere, there's no radio station. Nothing, just this, what's here, you know what I mean? It's already physically here, and you know, it should be here physically in a line out there, waiting at the door politely without fidgeting. So we could build ourselves in about 150 minutes, never mind about that. So there's no way, super secret, you could ever, like, have camera angle on me to look at my nose right now, and then play that to the world and go like, ha 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 world. We had camera angle on his under nose right now. There was no way. He said there is no way. Standing here, physically like this, super secret could have up under the nose camera view of me. And if they play that for the world to see, at this precise moment, when there is no physical way the super secret land could have up under the nose camera angle of me. Like a horrible angle to take a picture of people is what I'm saying too. You know, you take pictures of people from a down angle, it makes them look good. How photography. From a down angle, they all look good. From an up angle, up under the nose, they all look like something weird, and they put some shadow on them later. Then next thing you know, you're welcome to your persona being used by sociology mind puppet land of information control and or disguise and deception. Because they're super secret people, you know they are. No, I don't know who they are. I don't want to understand who they are. They're out there somewhere, but there's no way right now they could get an up angle view of me. But if they did and they played that on the internet right now for the world to see, we got an up angle view of his nose for you people. We wanted to share that with you worldwide on your computer and come up a #1 ad spot. You paid the way, super secret. That's all our money anyway. You could do it for free. You built a network. Here's the up angle nose shot of him. He said, no way could we get that freaking video of him. And we had to prove him wrong. And but at the bottom of it, you can put, ha, ha, ha. And of course, you know, you can damage me horrifically by doing things like that. That's how you truly damage people. He said, no way could you view him with an up angle under the nose right now. Let's see it on video worldwide, and then you can say, ha, ha, ha. Well, I'll have to admit to the superiority of super secret. To my primitive version, I get a little tablet here, and I can record, and, you know, the video's like whatever. And I got all that video work to do, and I've lived for, you know, like, never mind about all that. With inadequate video recording for years. Thanks to super secret. So here's to that. There's no way right now could they have an up angle nose. And if they played that on the worldwide internet, maybe they win. I just say that, super secret. And now I must sit my ass down and roll a cigarette while I contemplate French people. And the last little bit of disclaimer, I had to tell them about what I was talking about because, it's quite a bit going against your nemesis of MIME. Offensive. In a performance that you must win. With the vote of we the people, the entire world, and real French people getting to watch you from the front row. Real French people in the front row watching you. With the added pressure of that. Okay, alright. Here, let me roll a cigarette and then I'll explain a couple more things. Whew. French people. Their natural superiority. You know where they get it? Where do they get that from? God for real, French people. It's the God for real, French people. Then I could understand why you could share attributes of what you is, French people. I could see that in at least French people. I never bothered to look at any other crowd. I just looked at French people. One day I would look at other crowds, but no, till then. I just happened to glance at you, French people. You were doing something funny like mine. Your arms went down. Did that little thing in the heart, just the head thing. It was too much, French people. Ever since then, French people, it's been nothing but tortured love affair, French people. Mime. Slightly out of phase Tai Chi. And I think it's just gonna have to be all fair in love and war. Mime. So it's all fair in love and war. Then I gotta explain it to you. I gotta set you up evenly. I gotta make sure you're well armed, you can defend yourself against my formidable foray, which is your total kryptonite. Mime. I got your total kryptonite package here. I already described how I got it, where I got it. Clearly specified. There's nothing you can do, Mime. Just prepare yourself for the end, Mime. So at some point, just don't wonder why, just look at French people. Some mime people, some miming. You can't win against that, so you can't win against mime. How do you win against mime? You don't, do you? It's torturous for the soul, isn't it, Shanky Clan? To a complex, social 21st century creature of the ultimate construct of civilizational design, the epitome of the human brain and the responses thereof needed to the sociology inputs and requirements around us, required from the human to respond to society with the appropriate response to all their needs, like the perfect. Well, I didn't want to find the word for that later, but then, like the perfect, oh God, they'll make us, so many people. So how, Mime? How? I don't know how. I'm gonna get to you later. Let me finish my cigarette, Mime. I haven't even rolled my cigarette yet. I told you to roll a cigarette, and then I'm gonna get back to you, Mime. And a couple things I needed to tell you about our engagement. You're my nemesis, Mime. Even though I needed to make Mime aware that maybe they had a nemesis. It was slightly out of phase Tai Chi, but I had to make a disclaimer to Tai Chi. I did, Mime. Let me smoke, because it's fresh. French. It's a French thing. French understand how to fix their dentistry, don't they? Don't you, Betty? Natural superiority. Understanding of medicine and physique of French. All of that culminating in MIME of French. A natural superior understanding of human physiology, psychology, procreate, analogy. And it all culminates with your superior cultural design model of MIME. Totally ruling the landscape around you, MIME. Of culture, of any comers that could ever bother, dare cross MIME with any of their traditions of attack, of what Gary clearly specified there, of that, or nothing else would be permitted. MIME coming against you, of course, because I already discovered kryptonite. Why would they want to waste their time trying to go against MIME with anything other than the kryptonite Gary had discovered? Come on. And so, of course, I wasn't permitted by any law in the land anywhere to come against MIME, of course, with anything other than the way Gary had clearly described, because he had already discovered the kryptonite. Already told you about it. So it was all fair, love and war. And that was permitted. Justice, okay, they stamped it approved, passed it along, made it on the desk. Yeah, mine will go just like that. Slightly out of phase Tai Chi, huh, Justice? That's approved, Okay, the permit was gotten. Mine. We cleared the permit with the justice professionals who did nothing but want to secure people's lives for the benefit and the betterment of the 21st century brain. These are very important people here, man. These are like the epitome of what civilization and civilized thought should be, man. My people, man. We have to protect them, mime. We have to protect them from you, mime. These people are the epitome of civilized thought, mime. And they must be protected from you, of course. So, I wanted to outline clearly the rules of engagement specified so they could prove by justice, stamped approval. Because why not? We're all incredibly bored. We'd have just wasted one more boring minute that wasn't quite so boring somehow. So I just did this, and I wasn't quite so bored. If you weren't quite so bored, then we all weren't quite so bored together. And I said, that's good enough for now. For me, at least, because I'm not so bored. I don't know. I got to just let it out. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have sat down there with... Hate to do it to you. I hate to associate, put anybody's name associated to me and my hatred of mime. So, sorry, Rick. I shouldn't have sat down there with you and had so much fun. It's just like fun, really. It's your funny kind of people. It's just wonderful, sweet, wonderful people. Thank you. Wonderful people. So, of course, I wouldn't want to associate my tarnished reputation, whatever that might be. I have no idea. But I'm sure somebody said it was tarnished, so you know how PR, demographics, and information control is. Somebody said my information, my reputation, me, or whatever was tarnished, so there you go. You can think about that what you want. Well, I make a disclaimer to mine, of course, because certain things are important to me and they must be on the record, clearly stated for all to have understood. Will I escape one more boring moment of my life, mime? I feel so free, mime. Why? I can say words, mime! I can say words, mime. And you can't. Even though you're culturally superior to me. In every way, no doubt. All the way to flaky pastry and croissant. With butter. Strawberry cream cheese. variety of other topics. Served to you beautifully. My friends, people are just like, wow, that really is like, obviously culturally superior to me, friends, people. Who and what you are, you demonstrate that so all the time. So obviously you can understand why. Because my people here, friends, people, they're the epitome of cultural evolution as it was ever understood on planet Earth in time and space. And they had their own cultural tradition, friends, people. They had a cultural tradition of out of phase Tai Chi. Friends, people. Out of phase Tai Chi. Friends, people. And of course, their formidable adversary. These people being able to speak, French people. They could talk, they could say words. So they made their cultural performance. Their mortal enemy was, of course, MIME, who was just really so much funnier. More potent and experienced MIME is, MIME. With no words, I understand that, MIME. They were so culturally potent and still superior with no words. They made their statement effectively, maybe more so than with words. It was a cultural battleground and bodies of laughter everywhere. Slayed them with laughter. They just fell over. Laughing, and then we kept going. I don't know what happened to them, but we slayed them. They fell over laughing, while me and MIME tangled them. It was a formidable duel. I'm gonna tell you, to death, of course, MIME. Cultural dominance, of course. I barely scratched that nail, and I think I got that. I squeezed that pimple for you, though. Told you about it. Violated MIME. They gave me a penalty. I had to sit down for a while, like 5-10 minutes while you mime me, and I couldn't say a word. I couldn't say a word during penalty period. Why you got to do pure MIME in front of me with French people watching? The pressure mounted, MIME. It was a duel to the death, MIME. Between me and you, and I'd just been penalized. It seemed, MIME, as if there was no hope for me. Nor will there ever be hope for me, MIME. Because I have to say words, MIME. But you could do it with no words. And sell it so much better than I could ever sell it with words, MIME. And I don't know how, so. You can see why the inherent frustration in me, though, MIME. I'm just trying to explain the psychology of why to MIME. Out of phase Tai Chi feels slightly out of phase. Because you're supposed to be out of phase, and I think that was the problem, MIME. Now we're slightly out of phase Tai Chi, and we only used to be slightly out of phase Tai Chi. Does that make sense, MIME? Oh, that's why there are no words, said MIME. That's why they penalized me. And MIME had tortured me to no end. For they potently described their situation and message without saying a word. It was too much for out of phase Tai Chi. So they had to go to slightly out of phase Tai Chi. And now a new cultural tradition has been birthed. MIME. That you must be made aware of. Because we're coming for you, MIME. Coming for you. We feel that strongly in our souls of
dominant species. So we're required to do that. Don't ask me why we feel required to do that, because, at some point, even during the point of this in the evolution of people, you can call the Garden of Eden and the people at the beginning of time, maybe we'll call them God's people, and where the God's people truly came from so far back in time, and nobody fucking remembers anymore, really. You people came from, but really, the destination is quite there, and it's been on record since the whole fucking time. You just put it all together, you stupid goddamn dumb shits. Put the assistant to MIME, maybe I'm trying to sell MIME right now to do maybe exactly that. That you could totally understand the origins of mankind and the beginning print of the door of heaven itself and go, yep, there's a fucking address, you stupids. We should probably spend some effort researching that and don't put some time into building that. And if you're one of those kind of people that obviously could get into that, there you go, huh? MIME. But till then, MIME, the war goes on. I must roll a cigarette, Mime. You understand? I have to look down for a moment, Mime. But you couldn't see me anyway. Nobody in the middle of nowhere. Talking to nothing. And it'll never be heard, Mime. But I'm coming for you anyway, from nowhere, Mime. I surround you all the time, Mime. You'd be surprised. Truth. Pardon me, Mime. Pardon yourself, of course. No need to pardon either one of us. You're right, Mime. And of course, I'm excessively bored. What can I do while I live? Well, that's a horrific tragedy, of a magnitude of a stellar proportion for you. I couldn't describe it any other way, but totally, completely silly. What do? Say it in normal voice right in here like you talk to everybody all day long? You can't do that, Mime. You can't. It's like, you can't explain what I need to explain any other way than with complete denigration, plausible deniability, and total crazy lunacy. So, of course, it's completely deniable across the board in anybody's book, huh? So they can completely keep getting away with all their rapings and whatever they're doing to people out there in nightmare land. Despite what me and my nothingness of my totally enclosed environment, a soundproof room, well, no way Super Secret could ever listen to me. Then that way I can say what's on my heart in the silliest of ways, of course, because you know what? Completely bored. What else you can do? People talking like right there. Now at some point, you gotta let your personality out, so to speak, in the middle of a okay, when you say that, in the middle of a community, I'm really sure it was them, in the middle of a crowd of people. Were they crowded people? I don't really think so. In the middle of people. Were they people? Yeah. In the middle of society that is boring as piss, to be honest. Sometimes you have to let out your personality, and the only way you can do it is in complete isolation, of course, in the cone of silence. And so really more than I'm trying to perform, you just really need to listen to the words, don't you, Mime? Because I'm coming for you, Mime. Me and I don't know, maybe there's some other people that want to be into slightly out-of-phase Tai Chi, because out-of-phase Tai Chi just failed us, okay? Out-of-phase Tai Chi was a failure, I admit that. There were some flaws in the design. Slightly out-of-phase Tai Chi, though, has some real potential, though. Weird peeps. And so I was, that's its own thing, Mime. I should have probably adequately prepared more with my own people and understanding of slightly out-of-phase Tai Chi, because it threw them for a loop. They were used to out-of-phase Tai Chi. And then I threw them for a loop with saying, now this is what slightly out-of-phase Tai Chi is. Added one more word to the repertoire so you can understand the complete confusion of my people. Mime. I mean, Of course, because, they're culturally dominant and racially superior to all life and the universe, aren't they? They share it every time I don't know, whatever to say. So, Mime, you can see what I'm up against to even come against you, Mime. So I wanted to explain the psychology of it, the damage of it, the intent of it, the purpose. I had to get the permit through justice cleared, of course, because, an engagement like that between slightly out of phase Tai Chi that was used to be formally out of phase Tai Chi with no claim to actual Tai Chi, of course. No actual claim to Tai Chi, just out of phase Tai Chi. I went to slightly out of phase Tai Chi with no claim to actual Tai Chi, Mime, and I needed to make that clear on the record so that justice can stamp the approvals. Go, okay, go for it, everybody. Hey, Secretary, did I do that? Yeah, they did that. Of course they did that. There's nothing wrong or anything pertinently wrong or dangerous about slightly out of phase Tai Chi. But out of phase Tai Chi was way more dangerous. I do admit that, Justice, going against Mime. Mime would have had way better chance because out of phase Tai Chi just didn't work. It's a failure. It's again slightly out of phase Tai Chi. I'm going to take him down this time. I will. My people, I will conquer. Mime was slightly out of phase Tai Chi for my blunt skull heritage and make my people proud. I won't use that because, you know what? That's exactly it. That's so freaking weird. My people will reign dominant and supreme. Because that was the destinies and time and space. Does that sound familiar, people? Yeah, it does. Does it sound familiar everywhere in every culture since the dawn of freaking time, coming from everyone the elitist who tries to want to get you to do everything? Huh, people? Wake up, people! Wake up, you stupid! Never mind. People of mine. Slightly out of phase Tai Chi and my incredible boredom, of course. I'm gonna kick Mime's ass right freaking now. So here comes Mime. Right now. After a little cigarette, of course. Saturday Night Live episode number. It was Saturday night. It's live. Technically, it is Saturday night. It's Saturday night live.